Great. Welcome to another episode of Wahala Unwrapped. As you can see, my name is Cynthia. I'm so happy. Don't forget to like, subscribe to all our social media platform, and of course, click on this link below. All right, so ahead of the 2023 general elections, a lot of chaos, a lot of things happening, so many conversations from north, south, east, and west. And today we are going to be having a conversation surrounding the crisis in Delta State. I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. And of course, to have this conversation with me is a member of the People's Democratic Party in Delta State. He's also a convener, Greater Urobo Initiative, and also the spokesperson, Rethink Nigeria. Mr. Sonny Okoro, great to have you.
Thank you very much.
You seem very gentle. Where's your card?
Oh, okay.
Very important. Okay, the mill side. The mill side. All right. Okay, so we're going to start with the surrounding issues in Delta State, between the flag bearer and, of course, the challenger. So let's start from there. What is the background to this particular problem?
Actually, there ought not to be an issue with the Delta State PDP as it stands today. But, politics for what it is, people will always try to make an issue out of nothing. So, the primaries were held successfully, and Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, who is the current flag bearer of the PDP in the state, won square and clear. Nobody has issues with it. Nobody went to court on account of that. Everywhere was peaceful and it was all cool from there. So, as expected, normally the party was supposed to move on, but of course, certain persons who felt they are entitled to lead decided to unearth uh, an issue from where there ought not to be any, and they went to court on a different matter entirely. It has nothing to do with the primaries.
So what was the issue that was taken to court?
So I think they went to court based on they said the flag bearer is involved in forgery, that he forged the certificate and all of that. Some said he has a brother somewhere whose certificate he's using. The name of the brother is Francis and all of that. It's just here and there, funny business accusation as such. And amazingly, they actually got, after many failures with different issues, they got a judgment from the Federal High Court here in Abuja that actually decided to unseat the candidate, which was appealed. And at the appeal court, of course, everybody knew the case was a watery one because there was nothing like that. And the appeal decided to reinstate him. So that's where we are. And I think they are going to the Supreme Court, which obviously is not going to be any different.
So they still want to fight it?
Yeah, the Nigerian politician, they always go the...
Do you feel that this is just a plot to distract, the system, to distract the fight? Or do you really think that they really mean what they're doing?
I think this is just a power tussle between certain persons that believe they are the godfathers of Delta politics.
Are you talking about Ibori, Okowa?
Well, you are the one mentioning names, but there are some persons who just believe they are entitled to being the kingmakers in every state and all of that. And that system has never helped.
Let's speak directly, because we do understand that Ibori is for David. Deve, right? And Okowa is more like the head person for sheriff.
Okay, let me explain it this way. Now, the governor, and it's actually a tussle, like kind of tussle between the ex-governor, Chief James Ibori, yes, and the current governor. Now, the ex-governor actually has a candidate who is Chief David Edevia, who until now was actually chief of staff to the current serving governor, Dr. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. But the sitting governor has a different mindset with politics. From the one, he has always said, look, the system should be able to pick its own, because he wasn't really happy with his own primaries and all of the tussles that came with it and all of that. So he said from the one that he's not going to interfere with this whole thing, that if you think you are capable enough and you have the people's vote by your side, then go to the field. And that was exactly what he did. And luckily, unfortunately for the elected candidate, Chief Sheriff Oboriwori, he won it with a very large margin at the field. And nobody's contested that in Delta State. If you go to the state today, nobody's even talking about if the primary elections were fair or whatever. Of course, everybody, it was a very calm and peaceful primary. He won squarely, and nobody, even the opposing camp, they don't have issues with that because they never went to court on account of that. So you can see that it's just a thing of entitlement that is going on. Certain persons just believe it is them, or if it's not them, then...
why do you think that? Why would he feel entitled? Was there something that was promised? Was there a prior negotiation? Was there an agreement somewhere? Why? Because being entitled means that probably you have been promised something, or you have been assured of something.
Now, I don't know if there was anything or in respect to that, but in my own layman's opinion, I want to think that yes, there's no doubt that Chief David Edebie is very close to the former governor Chief James Ibori. Everybody knows that in Delta State. So maybe that was a personal promise he made to him, to David, that he will make him the next governor after Okowa. But I mean, you were a former governor, there's a current governor. You can't not just impose your will on a sitting governor. He should have his own choice on his own way of doing things. So if he has promised him that, then he should have been able to be strong enough also to have the power to convince the delegates to vote for him. And I think that is the right thing to do. So it's about voting. So it's not just a thing of promise. It's democracy. It's not. It's not a handout. It's not his company.
And then even if he wanted to even promise somebody something, I think he should have been able to have a dialogue before now with the current governor to say, okay, let's see how we can agree and meet somewhere, and then bring out one particular person instead of having all of this chaos.
Well, I heard, I don't know if it's true, that even the sitting governor gave permission for all of that. I mean, you should be able to discuss certain things like this with me. I wouldn't have rejected, but for you to outrightly want to superimpose, I don't think any man will want that. And I think the sitting governor is right on whatever decision he has taken as with regards to how he handled the whole Delta State process so far.
Okay, so let's move on to two things in one, which is the fact that some persons are saying that Sheriff is not the right candidate. For you to say someone is not the right candidate, that means you probably have some things against the person. So why do you think, I'm sure you're in support of Sheriff, so... Huh? Okay, so why do you think that he is the right candidate? Because I will not ask you if he's the wrong candidate.
I always get this question whenever I'm talking about this issue of Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, when people say he's not the right candidate. And I'm like, what do you mean by he's not the right candidate? Who is the right candidate? Here is a man that has been the Speaker of the House for the past 5 years. And he has run that house. And for you to know, the Delta State House of Assembly is one of the most troubled House of Assembly in the entire country. We've hardly had a speaker that has served his full term without an issue. But this man has served for the past 5 years without any problem. There's never been a threat of trying to impeach him or anything. The people love him in the state. What else is a leadership quality? Ability to coordinate people together. The Delta State House of Assembly is made up of several tribes, and he has been able to hold that assembly. That alone is it ought to be a kind of an impulse to people to show that this man has something in him that portends good leadership quality for him to have succeeded where a lot of people had failed in the past.
Great.
So when they say he's not qualified, I wonder by what yardstick or what parameters they're using to judge who is qualified or who is not qualified. The man is well read. Talking about academics, he has a master. He has a bachelor's degree in political science. He has a master's in political science. He has several degrees, several certificates from Harvard and Oxford and all of that. So he is well prepared for the job. Everything about him has been about leadership. Up to this time, is somebody that, yes, you look up to and say, yes, he has prepared himself for this. So I don't know by what yardstick all of these persons that says, oh, he's not qualified. Where is the template by which you judge people who are qualified to become governor? Because I have not seen it. Maybe certain people, they have it in their cupboard or somewhere.
A very good question. Now, before we go on a short break, I would like to ask you this particular question. Now, what then? I mean, looking at that, okay, he has a credible record, and of course, he has done very well over the times he has been in office. Serving in his capacity. What then is the bone of contention? Is it just about the fact that Ibori has somebody on the line, or what exactly is the bone of contention here?
You see, recently I've taken our time to study this issue very well, and I've looked at the camp of people that made up what is called the unity group, that is backing the Ediwe and the Ibori camp, the faction.
Okay.
I looked at the names, I painstakingly looked at those names. These are names I've been hearing since I was young. These are old-time politicians since 1990. They served with Governor James Ibori. All of them have grouped themselves. I just feel these are people that don't just want to leave power. And because they form themselves into a cabal, a kind of clown that they must rule forever. So they are ready to fight tooth and nail to see that they succeed in installing one of their own, because this has nothing to do with the good of the Delta State. It has nothing to do about the people. These are just self-seeking politicians who have grouped themselves together in one camp to make sure that this man does not become the governor of the state.
All right. When we come back, we will talk about what this portends for Nigerians ahead of the 2023 general election. Of course, not forgetting the character of Omo Agege and the rest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. It is Wahala Unwrapped. As you can see, my name is Cynthia. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, Instagram to follow all our amazing content. We're still with Mr. Sonny Okoro. Okoro is a Delta name?
Yes, it's actually Okoro, because I'm from the Urobo-speaking part of Delta. Okoro, yes.
Okay.
Not Okoro like the Igbo pronunciation.
Okay.
It's Okoro.
I wanted to be clear on that. All right. So, before we talk about the impact, if this is going to affect, looking at Okowa as the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, and then his state is already having disarray. Is this going to in any way affect progress of Atiku?
No. You see, PDP is actually, Delta is actually a PDP state.
Yes.
And we are lucky at this point in time of our political life that we have one of our own as the presidential candidate for the PDP. And I believe this is going to galvanize the state more for the party. So there's really not any chaos as far as I'm concerned with what is going on, because I believe after the Supreme Court verdict, which obviously is going to go the way of Honorable Chief.
What if it doesn't go the way we are anticipating?
No. The case is very watery. We've seen it. We saw the appeals court judgment. So we all know where this case is already going. There is no case there. There's actually no case, because if you have taken time to read the judgment of the appeal court, you know that this case is already dead. I don't see why they had to go to the Supreme Court, because there is no basis for it. However, yes, there are certain people that will be aggrieved and all of that, but it's not going to last. Parties always have, within the party always have issues and all. It's already a reconciliation committee that is set up to make sure that at the end of this is just a fight between two siblings. When it's all done, everybody will come together and win the state squarely for both the gubernatorial and deliver for the presidential. So I don't see any problems how it's going to affect the presidential election or even the state election, because the Delta from 1999 to date has always been PDP, and it's not going to change at this point in time, because they know.
Are the people in position? Are they preparing themselves for any eventualities?
No, no, no. There's nothing to prepare themselves for actually, because like I said, Delta is just a fight between. It's a
What
fight.
if something just happened?
It's just a fight. We understand our state very well. These things occur every now and then. So it's just a fight between siblings. They are definitely going to reconcile. And if you understand very well, this fight is between two people from the same senatorial district, which is the Delta Central Senatorial District. And that also brings us to a particular point. You know, in the Delta Central Senatorial District, there are actually three arms, okay?
Okay.
The three geopolitical axes. You have the Ethiop East and Ethiop West.
Yes.
You have the Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. And you have the Oak West, Uwe, and Saple constituent of the state, of the Delta Central. Now, talking about leadership, the Ethiop East and Ethiop West, they've had the governorship position before, in person of Chief James Onanefe Ibori, who was the past governor before Udwara. Then when you come to Ughelli North and Ughelli South Udu constituency, you have had Chief Olorogu Felix Ibru. That was then in the 90s. He has been a governor from that axis, and also the deputy to Udwara then was from that axis. That is Professor Amos Otuama. The only axis that has never experienced any of this is actually the Okbe, Saple, and Uwe constituents, where Honorable Sheriff Oberori is from. So I believe as a people, they are going to put all of this into consideration and know that in terms of equity and fairness and justice, these people deserve a shot at it. And the right person who has been a speaker for the past 5 years, they can't be any more qualified person than that.
Amazing.
To be there. So when all of this is over, they will all come back together and resolve this issue and deliver for PDP.
Okay, so I mean, I think these are very valid reasons. As we plan up to wrap up this particular conversation, we were talking about this, before we came, and we mentioned the place of Omoagege and this other man.
She's Great Ogboru.
So, do you think that they might be any?
You see, like I said, the Urhobos, they are very fair, compassionate people, and they understand the principle of fairness. We are a tribe that are very accommodating, and we treat each other with fairness and equity. The Urhobos understands that this is the time for the Oakbes.
For the Oakbes, okay.
They understand that this is the time for, yes, there is Great Ogboru, there is the Omoagege factor, which I believe nobody wants APC to rule their state right now, considering the mess
at the national level.
At the national level, and even states. Look at Imo State. I don't think Delta State want to become another Imo State. Imo was a very peaceful state until they had an APC governor. Look at all the places that APC are currently ruling. You will see the chaos and the turbulence that are there. I think Delta State will have enough problems of our own. We don't need that kind of problem that comes with the APC. So for that, yes, Omoagege is the current DSP, but it's unfortunate. He would have gone back to the Senate, would have favored him better. But for the governorship, no, we don't want APC in Delta State, and I don't think the state wants that. As for Chief Great Ogboru, I just feel his time has passed. Let me just put it that way, because he has been on this for too long, and I think it is already. People are getting tired.
A veteran contestant.
Yes, people are getting tired, and there's going to be there's already a voter party when it comes to that name. So it's all going to be Sheriff Oberori, square and clean, and PDP is going to sweep everywhere, and we are home and dry when it comes to the election.
And then we're going to celebrate.
Definitely. I will definitely invite you when that time comes.
I'll prepare my celebration dress. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny Okoro, member of the PDP in Delta State, and of course, convener Greater Urhobo Initiative. He's also the spokesperson for Rethink Nigeria. Amazing conversation. Like I always tell you, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and of course like us on all our social media platforms. Wahala Unwrapped. My name is Cynthia. Bye.
Bye.